The road to righteousness or success, whatever you want to call it, is slim and narrow, and few that be that finds that path. So I think you need to know that if you want to get to the top or become whatever form of success however you envision success, you just know that it's a lonely road and you're only gonna have so many people there. Yeah. And I had to come to like terms with myself about that. Be like, look, do you want a lot of friends, or do you want to do something that you could potentially change and influence the world?
Right.
I feel like hard times and suffering builds character, you know? And I think I heard TD Jakes say, like, it's better to take the steps to success instead of the elevator, because when you take the elevator, you're missing certain floors.
Right. Welcome everyone to episode 11 of 1000 Failures. I'm your host, Darius Marcelin, and I am super proud to put this episode out with my boy Davinchi, who's coming on the show today. He is 23 years old in his sophomore career in the acting world, and he is a series regular on Grownish. He is on All American. He's booked a bunch of feature films. He mentions later on he has a movie coming out that he's supporting with Ben Affleck. He's done so much in a short career that we could learn like tremendous amounts of knowledge. Davinchi, like myself, was both from the East Coast, Caribbean background. He has a Haitian background, a Haitian heritage. I'm Trinidadian, so we had a good little island vibe, and you could hear the connection between us on this episode. So that you could hear that guy bond on there. And he dealt with facing fear of moving from New York to LA, leaving his comfort zone and leaving something that he knew so well, his family, his friends, his income, whatever. And he left that to face the unknown. And lucky for him, and I'm happy for him that everything worked out in a fast period of time, but it wasn't without hiccups along the way. And Davinci's gonna talk about how he booked his job, advice, doing self-tape auditions, advice moving from East Coast to West Coast, advice about acting schools, and how he feels about actors spending $500 on doing self-tapes and paying for classes. I guess the East Coast mentality where it's, it's the hustle, and you believe in yourself a lot in order to produce good work. Right? And that hustle on the East Coast, I feel I can see that in the way that you could hear this podcast interview, that he believes in himself and he believes in his ability. And I commend him so much at 23 to be so knowledgeable and not let all that fast success go straight to him. On the same wavelength I was on, leaving New York to LA, I had to overcome so much fear at first. Fear of the unknown, fear of, what if I get to Los Angeles, I don't get a job, I don't book anything, I don't have an income, and I have to live homeless in my car. And I'm leaving this good scenario in New York where I'm earning money, I have my family, I have my friends. Yeah, we all deal with that fear. And it's not me today trying to tell you to be fearless. Just like on the journey to success, we have to encounter failure. Fear is a part of our everyday build and our genes and in our cells. We get fearful of the unknown and fear of what if things don't work out. That's fear, but what I am here to tell you today, and in this podcast I hope you get excited and inspired by, is the fact that yes, we still have fear, and Davinchi has fear, and all these people have fears, but we don't let it overcome us. And I think when you realize and you practice doing stuff, either it's you're afraid of heights and you stand on a balcony from a safe site or something like that, where you just keep practicing daily to overcome fear and just practice it every single day, that to the point where when you have to make that decision to go after your dreams or leave your job to go be a creative and work in the W-9 world where you don't have insurance and you're banking on yourself. When you come to that crossroad, you could not let fear overcome you, and you can make the decision that you know you have to make. And I knew I had to make the decision to leave New York to LA because I knew one day I wanted to be talking to people and people to hear my voice and be inspired to go after their dreams. And if I was in New York today, I probably wouldn't have this podcast and this episode would not be coming out right now. But my purpose was bigger than my fear, and my purpose was to inspire people. And if your purpose is bigger than you, and whether your purpose is for your family, you're doing this for your family, you're doing this for your health, you're doing this for your kid, you're doing this for your little brother, whether whatever dream you have, you're gonna do it for somebody else and a bigger purpose, it's gonna help you overcome fear and not let fear overcome you. So today I stand here very vulnerable. I stand here putting out this podcast for you guys and for anyone out there listening that needs to be inspired and needs this push to go after their dreams. I stand here so that you could see that even though I'm fearful right now that somebody doesn't like this and will leave me a bad comment or something bad, my purpose is bigger than that little fear. So whatever fear that you feel today and that's holding you back, I want you to think of a bigger purpose and a bigger goal than yourself. And that you'll go out there and you go after what you want to do. And Davinchi is on this podcast episode. He's going to talk about what he did to book this job on Grow Nation and this big movie he has coming out in October with Ben Affleck and all these things he's done in 36 plus months. Yeah, he had fear too, and he had to overcome obstacles. So I want you guys to listen in to the end and just take in this advice. So whether you're driving to the gym or you're in the gym or you're going home from work or you're going to work, if you could share this with one of your friends or share it on Instagram so that everybody could spread the message that we could overcome fear to go after our dreams today. Whatever, today, you go after your dreams today. Yeah, that would be appreciated from you. I don't have a big marketing budget like all of these companies, but this podcast has been spreading through word of mouth. So I appreciate you all. If you could leave a comment or a review on what you liked about this episode on your Apple Podcast or iTunes Podcast, that would be amazing. So with no further wait, this is Davinchi.
All right, we live. What's good, dog?
All right, what's good, man? Good to see you, man.
So we're talking Haiti, Trinidad.
Yes, man.
That's your background.
Yes. I speak the language. That's actually my first language.
Yeah, for real?
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know that. They think I'm just an African American.
Yeah.
But I'm a chameleon. I just, mold in really well and just use the card when I have to,
Yeah.
But I remember all my life growing up, me and my brothers, we would not tell people that our parents are foreigners.
Yeah.
Just so we don't get treated like foreigners. Because like the Africans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians and everything, like they would get made fun of if you're a foreigner. So we would just like imitate their accent and everything.
Where
like,
did you go to high school?
I went to high school in Florida, but I grew up in Brooklyn and New Jersey. So in Brooklyn
too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
dope. Like Ocean Ave, Flatbush. My brothers went to like PS 249.
I used to play soccer over at Prospect Park on that side there.
Oh, okay, dope. Dope.
There's a church's.
Oh, that's dope. Damn, small world. I'm surprised. Yeah, I probably ran into you when I was a kid.
Yeah, so I was over there too.
Okay, dope.
And then when you move out here to LA?
I moved out here a little over a year ago.
Oh, sick. 2
Yeah.
years.
I'm about to be 2 years in October.
I was 2 years in May.
Oh, okay, yeah. What made you move out here?
It's crazy. I got a pilot to shoot a pilot first, and I auditioned in New York. Self-tape, we did it twice. My boy Akil here, he helped me for sure with that for sure. We did a self-tape, and then they said, oh, pilot in LA. I was on set already shooting something, and the makeup guy was like, oh, I think you'll do well in LA. And the bug just hit me, bought a one-way ticket, and I just moved out here, took everything, lived on savings, and here I am. And I don't have any regrets one day.
Wow, that's good.
What about you?
I came out here, the first time I came out here, a good friend of mine, and she's like my sister, Little Mama. You know Little Mama?
No. Have I met her?
Yeah, she's an artist. She's known for the song My Lip Gloss Is Poppin'.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And she's an actress as well, and she still makes music.
All right, cool.
So she was like, yo, just come out here, and, you know, I want you to meet my manager, da-da-da. And I was just like, she's not going to want to sign me because I have no work under my belt, and this and that. And then I met her, and she was just like, yo, you know, I like you, kid. And then, boom, she, you know, decided to take a chance with me. And then afterwards, I was like, can I stay in LA, though? And they were like, nah, because LA is just like too competitive and you're too new, basically.
Right.
So I went back to New York, and I signed with my agency. I got an agency out here, but that agency CSD is bi-coastal, so they weren't really fucking with me here. They were like New York. They would rather see me. And then I booked one job, Jessica Jones, and I'm like, can I come back to LA? And they're like, no. So long story short, I booked a one-way flight on my own. And did not tell them that I don't plan on coming back. And I was promoting at the time, so who I was promoting with, you know, we had the apartment out here, so then I was like, all right, I'm gonna still promote here and then act, but then...
Yeah, you still got the bread coming in.
Yeah, and then as, you know, the flight was landing, I take my phone off airplane mode and I check my email and I see I have an audition for this Grownish Colleges project. Never knew what it was.
Right.
And then next thing you know, I went out for it the next day. It was supposed to be a 1-episode, 2-episode thing. And then I ended up booking it and then like being in the entire season. And that made me stay in LA.
Was it a self-tape or?
No, I went in the room, you know.
In Warner Brothers?
No, it was Disney.
Disney, Disney.
Yeah. And then like from there, it was just like, they were like, yeah, you can stay in LA now. You can stay in LA. And like, the rest is history, and now I'm just out here and really making a living off acting full time. So
yeah, nice.
So it was like,
was that part of your dream, like making a living off acting?
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel like acting is a vehicle I'm using to get to other places, you know. Because I started off doing music, and I got discovered from music, but then it turned into acting. So I gave music a break, but I'm still writing, because that's just the art side of me, you know. So
hip hop.
Yeah, hip hop.
Yeah, I saw that online.
Oh.
So it's strange you say that too. For me, yeah, I like, you know, for acting for me is also a vehicle and just a gateway to open other things.
Yeah.
You know, and for me it's speaking and doing more motivational stuff, but I still like, when I'm on set for either a commercial or doing a show or whatever it is, I still like being a character and just like, you just getting paid to do that. You know?
Yeah, it's great. It's like, cause you're really just getting paid to really be you.
Right.
Your charisma, and it's like, you know, that's so dope. And like sometimes depending on the job, it'll give you a large bag to where you can just buy time.
Yeah.
And time is the most valuable thing, and you can't buy time working a regular 9 to 5, you know? So I just feel like pursuing any field in the arts, and when you start to really acquire a level of success, it allows you to buy time. That's the most valuable thing. You could buy time, you could book a job that give you 3 years. And now those 3 years, you can really be your essential self.
Right.
But 9 to 5, you're a slave, basically. Yeah. That's like modern day slavery.
It's what they call like adulthood, and I saw like one meme, it's the creatives are the people who survive that adulthood, you know?
Yeah.
And this my podcast show, it's geared towards creators and entrepreneurs to see like, well, your journey, your ups and downs, because a lot of times we don't get a chance to see that via Instagram, via what media portrays or what they edit out for you. You know, it's kind of like the raw stuff. So a lot of people who listen to this show, like they take, you know, great appreciation for the honesty and that side of it, because we both know there are times that we just not gonna be working, or
you know,
those
are the scary times.
But seeing that like you were promoting and I was too, and you know that was like a secure backup way of securing bread.
Yeah.
There are still ups and downs, you know.
Yeah.
And as a creative, it's just so difficult to just keep focused.
It is. And I remember my manager. He's like a life coach of mine, Derek. When I was promoting, he was like, "Look, dude, you can't be going out 7 days a week. You got to preserve your mind, and you need that." And when I was going out, I wasn't drinking or doing anything. I tend to stay sober like majority of the time. I'm not one. I like my sober mind more than being under the influence of anything, because I have like my judgment of character isn't the same when I'm under the influence, and I don't like that, you know, because I didn't grow up with many of the people that I'm in here with now, so I don't know their true character.
True.
So, but he would always tell me like, look, you got to preserve your mind and stuff like that, because it could put this dark cloud over you, and that gets in the way of your spirit when you're going in these rooms and when you're having these meetings and stuff like that. So, but the pros of promoting, only because it happened that night, it gave you your whole day. Yeah. But sometimes if that night goes into 8 in the morning, then when you start your day, you're gonna be sluggish and your energy is gonna be down, and it's gonna play a huge role in having meetings. Yeah. So it was just like,
it's your routine too.
Yeah, it does, you know. So I had to like cut it down to like 4 days a week, and the people who I was working with at the time, they were like really wanting me to be this huge promoter, like, yo, you got this potential to this and that, and I'm like, well, that's not my passion.
Right, that's not your passion.
I have to give 100% to my passion. Promoting is a side job. Yeah. I can't prioritize promoting a nightlife, you know what I'm saying? And I did that, and it's just like, no shade to them, they're still promoting, but you know, fortunately I'm not.
Yeah, and the thing is you have to make that choice, and I think that choice, we all, whether it's promoting, it's you're a singer and you're a waitress, and then they ask you to work more hours, or you're in banking and trying to be an actor, but there's one time you have to make that decision where it's like you trust fate and your process that decision is it, but that's like the toughest thing to me. Even moving to LA.
That's true,
Even moving to LA, like you probably left people behind in New York.
A lot.
I left so much behind.
And it was sometimes I used to think like, yo, like things could go wrong and I can end up having to go back.
Right.
You know, and I was just like, I can't go back.
I never was thinking. I was like,
so I came with the mindset like I came to this new land and I'm gonna burn the ship, so I can't go back.
Wow.
Like whatever happened, I cannot go back. Like I had to look at myself like a cellular in a new land. A lot of, I can't say names, but a lot.
Trying to get jealous.
A lot, yeah, right. A lot of friends, a lot of so-called friends. Yeah. You know, and just people that I was doing business with, and I just had to really prioritize and just know what I want. And I tend to meditate and do a lot of spiritual acts, you know, talk to God. And
wow, yeah.
When I get a sign that, you know, this person is holding you back, you can't grow with this person, you got to move forward. And I mean, they say like the road to righteousness or success, whatever you want to call it, is slim and narrow, and few that be that finds that path. So I think you need to know that if you want to get to the top or become whatever form of success however you envision success, you just know that it's a lonely road, and you're only gonna have so many people there. Yeah. And I had to come to like terms with myself about that. But like, look, do you want a lot of friends? Or do you want to do something that you could potentially change and influence the world? Right. And, you know, help your lineage, you know? So I was like, fuck it, I gotta go that way and sacrifice all of this. But why eat from these guys when I could like sacrifice and then eat for the rest of my life and generations to come after and after and after because of me? So
more of leaving like the impact, and your you know, your story and your legend will be there forever.
Exactly.
It's so many like decisions that we have to make. The guy who's working a 9 to 5 would not have to make. I mean, like,
it's so safe.
Which shirt to put on today?
Right.
I want more sugar in my coffee when I go to work.
That's true.
We make decisions that we.
That's life or death sometimes.
Life or death is you don't have life or death in that we're not guaranteed insurance.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? We don't have health insurance. Like,
that's the scariest part.
Unless you book a job that's gonna pay for your insurance. And I have so many stories since I moved here, because in New York, I haven't come across so many actors that were more, I won't even say full time or partial time. I would say they put in a quarter of their day's work, because in New York, if you don't pay that bill, it's cold out there. You don't pay rent. You know what I mean? So New York is so much more tougher, because just the weather, and you just don't want to be out on rent.
Yeah,
it's more expensive rent.
I remember there was a time like when I was promoting, I was living in Jersey. So my mother was living in Jersey. I was with her. I did college in Florida, and I was like, I saved money, and I was like, I'm gonna come live with my mom, help her out, and then pursue my dreams in New York and find a little side hustle, whatever.
Right.
So it was times after the clubs in New York end at like 4:30 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like not like LA. Then I would have to take the train all the way back to Jersey and wait. So I would be home at 6 a.m. and it's cold, bro. It's like cold. 2 degrees outside. I'm in a jacket. I'm like, I'm with the bums and homeless. And then it's just like, because you're around all these crazy people, you have to kind of mirror their energy so they don't try to try you. So I'm in the train looking crazy too, just to imitate them. Like I could get crazier, and then so like, oh, we're gonna leave this guy alone. But there was sometime I was doing that, I had like $3,000-4,000 in my pocket. So it was like if they would try to rob me, they would be like, oh my God, we just had a good come up. So I would have to look, you know, crazy. But I was doing that so many times, you know. Like my night would start at 9 p.m. heading to New York, and then I come back at like 6 a.m. and it's just like. Yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing this for? You know,
everyone has that, like the true grinders in that industry have that same story. For me, it was sometimes when I just got started, I would take the train into the city from Brooklyn, and it could be snowing. I'll be with my little umbrella. It didn't even have iPhones then. I was on a BlackBerry, so it's like one text per person. And I'm outside the club.
And your fingers is freezing. You trying to text
with $30-40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, my family was watching me, like, yo, what's he doing? Like, cause they still remember when I was still doing that. It was like crazy to them that I was doing. I didn't even know what pushed me, but I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I have like an angel like push me to do certain things because I never had the training to do it, but you just I just did it.
You just know to do it, and I think your spirit comes from like a certain lineage of maybe like a king and a warrior that is in you, and you're not even aware of it, and it's just making you go this route. You know, I feel like we're all connected, and I just feel like your ancestors, our forefathers, must have been like some real OGs that instilled this in us and like go and fight. Like I was like, why am I doing this again? Because I was a A student, you know, I graduated with above a 4.0 GPA, top 10% of my class. I played sports, you know what I'm saying? Like I had a bright career anywhere I went, and I was like, why the fuck did I choose this? You know, but I felt this. But I remember I read the book The Alchemist, and it was like, when something is really for you, the entire universe conspires into helping you achieve that goal. So it was like I started watching like the universe come together and helping me. I'm meeting the right people that helped me to go here and there. And I was just like, it was like God want this for me more than I want this for me myself. And because I saw that, I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. And at least if I die in pursuit, at least I died in pursuit of chasing something that was bigger than me. And someone else will fulfill it if I go, you know? And if I make it, then I make it, you know? So
that's here, and you're working acting in LA now, man.
It's crazy.
I don't even think your story is done. Just before you got here, I was just checking through everything. I was like, for me, I think your story, your book is just you're in chapter 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, but the thing is, it's what I tell some people. A lot of people stop, and this podcast show is called 1,000 Failures, right? And
I like the name of that, by the way.
A lot of people, thanks.
Mine is like 10,000 failures.
Right. A lot of people stop at the first one. You know, a lot of people stop at the first one. A lot of people try to get into acting, and their acting coach said, "You suck. First one, you done. That's it. I go back to my 9 to 5."
Yeah.
But just like your story, I think that's like my subway ride to the city, your train ride back to New Jersey in that cold. I think those things inherently make us a lot stronger, so that the things that are meant for us in the long run, in 2 years from now, 3 years from now, we have the ability to put that on our back and feel that responsibility and carry that weight because we've been through that. But if I was born into this acting world and I got given this script and I went into it, I don't know if I would be able to deal with a producer on a big network show telling you, "Oh, you suck."
No, absolutely. And I feel like hard times and suffering builds character, you know. And I think I heard TD Jakes say, like, it's better to take the steps to success instead of the elevator. Because when you take the elevator, you're missing certain floors.
Right.
When you take the step, it's like building character, and it's just like, now it's like my spirit is like hardened. I felt like I went through boot camp the first 3-4 years, just hearing nothing but no's. I was just getting my ass whooped in life,
LA,
in New York, in New York. You know, I was, when I came to LA, it was like sunshine and rainbows when I came out here. I was well received, you know, like I'm killing it. And this is like my sophomore year in the business officially, you know, and I was like, you know, thank God for that. But in New York, oh man, I was getting my ass whooped. Like, this business is really the concrete jungle, you know?
Yeah.
There's no law. It's your wits. You have to read other people. There's nothing guaranteed. I felt like an antelope, and I'm now becoming like a lion a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Your offense.
Huh?
You're not going on your offense a little bit.
Yeah. You know, like it's tough as hell. And what I realized and learned is that nobody's ever gonna be the king of the jungle. But if you navigate through it well enough, you'll be perceived as a king.
Right.
But nobody can be the king.
Exactly.
You just gotta know your way around this shit. And that's what I'm doing. I'm knowing my way around it. I pay homage to the one that's helping me through it, but it's just like, I ain't trying to be the king. I just want to know the fucking roads, the directions, you know?
So you say you're working on a film right now.
Yeah.
How's that been?
I'm working on this film called The Gift, and it's a feature film, and it's about like this crazy Asian family. It's kind of like Crazy Rich Asians, but it's tells a story about this young girl. I don't even know if I'm able to talk about it. This young girl is like, she's like pursued her dream, and she's in high school. She makes it on TV, and she's performing, whatever, stuff like that. And like you know what? Long story short, I'm basically playing a love interest to this Asian girl. Like, it's like a whole Asian family. So
and you're the outside, like, what?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in Hong Kong every time I go on set. But it's cool. It's dope. It's interesting. I've never done it before, so I'm looking.
I was working for feature film and then doing the series,
shows.
Yeah, shows.
Shows are much better. I'm not gonna lie. Shows have a lot more money. Even because I have a film coming out I'm supporting Ben Affleck, October 18th.
Congrats.
Appreciate that. That's October is gonna be a great month, and that's my birthday month. So
I'm coming off for that for sure.
Appreciate that. That's good.
I'm October 8th.
Oh, mine is the 10th.
That's crazy.
Libra, wow, that's dope. But like, even, and that budget, you know, was millions, you know, but on set, like, my trailer was just like a honey wagon, but on set of like a show, you have like a trailer that's like this, you know what I'm saying? The craft services it's completely different. But I guess when you're like Ben Affleck big on a movie set, it'll be like, you know, a little better. But
one of my boys was telling me he was a lead on this big movie, because I don't want to throw shit at the movie. He was the lead on this big movie, and they're shooting in New York. And he was like, yo, it was raining, and they had us in the rain. Like, we were out in it was cold, no jackets, no nothing.
Oh, wow.
That set was wild. And I was like, for real? And it was like a big series. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, that was crazy. And it was like just last year. So
this is a movie?
Yeah.
That makes sense, though. It makes sense, because movies are known for things like that, but the show, they take care of you. They take care of you for sure in the show.
So how's a typical day? Let's say they say you're in they're in season 3 now, season 4?
Season 2,
all right.
All American.
All right, so let's just say you got your script and you got to go into All American. How's your day look like? What time do you normally start?
Oh, well, I start this week of All American, but I know it's a night shoot. So because it's a night shoot, night shoots are cool, but if they last long, then it's gonna mess your next day up, because you're gonna be shooting till 5 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
But you get your call time. It's nighttime. It's probably gonna be like when the sun drops, so probably like 8 p.m. You get on set, have craft services. They give you food. You go on a trailer. You sign papers. You go to hair and makeup. Then you
second AD comes.
Then you get dressed, and then you see your lines that you gotta do, and then you do rehearsal with the first team, and then they plant your marks and stuff like that. Then they bring the second team in.
Right.
your stand-ins, and shout out to the stand-ins, man. They work hard. They work hard. And then, you know, the stand-ins come in, take your place, and then afterwards, boom, you shoot the scene. And then you shoot it from like a million different angles.
Yeah, a lot of times people
never know that.
We're like, you know, like I was telling my friends, I was like, yep, they probably shot this angle, this angle, this angle, this.
Yeah,
like so, 6 angles.
Yes,
different takes because people mess up. It's like
exactly. Like I never realized how long it took. I remember until the first project I booked, Marvel Jessica Jones. And I'm shooting, I'm like, yo, this scene is supposed to be short as hell. I only have like 6 lines. Why is this? But it's just like wide shot, close up, coverage, this, that, overhead. And I was like, oh my God. Like it took like 7 hours.
Wow.
And I was just like, this is, you know, it's a lot of standing if you want to be an actor.
Yeah.
You stand around and wait a lot.
It's a lot of waiting around.
Yeah, you wait around. You have to have something else in your hand to occupy you, not social media, something that you can like learn and educate yourself and work on something else. Because otherwise, sometimes you're in your trip. Like last week, I was on set. My call time was freaking 3 p.m. all the way in. I don't even know Cali like that, but it was deep. It was like past Encino.
Oh wow.
Just deep, and it was hot as hell there. Call time was 3 p.m. I didn't start shooting my shit till like 9 p.m.
Wow.
So in my trailer, there's this new movie that I'm going out for, really big. I cannot say it. It's like a massive character who's like a legend, and I was just studying that and just reading the whole script. Just read like 150-page script, story. Yeah, exactly. Or if I'm not doing that, then I will like as an actor, I feel like you need to educate yourself on a whole bunch of different things in life. The more well-rounded you are, is the better it is for you, because you can go in a room and you can communicate with like anybody from any walk of life. And if you have to play a character, you know a little bit about that occupation, then boom. So I tend to try to push myself every day, if I'm doing nothing, to learn about a new skill, because it's only gonna help me. You know. So
what was the last thing you learned?
The last thing I learned, I learned a lot about Muhammad Ali.
Oh, sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not okay, I'm 23. So when Muhammad Ali was at his prime, I didn't know what was going on, you know what I'm saying? All I know is this guy is a boxer.
And he has quotes.
Exactly.
And Instagram memes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all I really knew. But I really dug into this man's career. This man was at his prime, the best fighter in the world. He didn't have any scratches on his face or anything. And he gave up everything for his belief. And the government stripped him from, he can't work in America, and he didn't want to join the draft at the time because they wanted him to join the army. So they said, you can't work in America, you can't go overseas, because he was a Muslim, he had over 600 million followers. They said, he can't go overseas because he's gonna end up being worth $1 million, and we don't want a refugee that's worth millions and millions. So we're gonna lock him in America, make sure he doesn't work or do anything, and he could never fight again. All because of his belief, because he was a Muslim. I didn't know all that, and all he had to do is turn his belief and say, all right, you know, I'm done, and he could start fighting, making millions or whatever. But he said no, he stuck to it, and they stripped everything. The man was living a good life.
So what did he do after that?
He was just preaching, you know, and he was inspiring people. And I mean, this guy was a prolific boxer, and I think for a man to give up his stability and comfortability, like, I mean, you have food on the table, you have any woman you want, you can go anywhere around the world, to give it up for your belief and to help people, that's crazy. He was comfortable. He did not have to do that shit. Like, so many people are just like, nah, I'm not gonna die for these people, and like, he really like risked his life for them, you know?
I guess he left his impact, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You had to make a choice. That was like exactly that. The same tough choice.
Exactly, and it was so crazy, and I didn't realize how close Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X were.
Oh, I didn't.
They were like they were literally best friends.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Then Sam Cooke, the artist who I listened to, they all was his trio. Then Jim Brown, a professional NFL player who played for the Denver Broncos, the Browns, Cleveland Browns, they all was like this clan. They were homeboys, and I never knew that, and I was just like blown by the whole thing. And after Muhammad Ali, I'm not going in depth with this. After Malcolm X convinced Muhammad Ali, after Malcolm X, no, this is the craziest part. After Malcolm X convinced Muhammad Ali to become part of the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X left. And no one really have a clear understanding why he left. Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam. And right after that, Muhammad Ali never spoke to him again. And 2 days later, Malcolm X was killed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you just educated me.
Yeah, that.
Now I want to like open a
yeah, it's so crazy. Yeah, I never, knew anything about that. And I was just like blown, like, holy crap. You just hear about figures sometimes, but you never really go in depth with their lives.
Oh, wow.
So shit like that. I learned
I mean, that's a lot. So that's All American right now.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Spencer Passenger. We need to get you on here, bro, soon. We go back from New York days, Super Bowl champ. Linebacker, one of my good friends, a producer on that show, and the story's based off of him.
Yeah.
So that's cool because he's such a great guy.
He is.
And good to see, that. How's it like, you work with Tay Diggs on that?
Tay Diggs, yes. I'm going to, but I have not shot with him yet, and I'm a huge fan of Tay Diggs. Been all my life. Yeah, The Woods. Oh my God. That was my movie, man. Yeah. So it's so dope to be working with like these guys and a show that I really think is a dope show. So that's actually
I'm waiting to binge it all in one.
Oh, like season 1, season 2.
Yeah, that's how I do. I wait to binge it all together. I don't have to wait on this to come out or anything like that.
I feel you.
So I just go straight into the flow of it.
Gotcha.
So I'm down for that. And could you say what you're doing or no? No, you can't.
In the show?
Yeah.
They didn't say I couldn't.
Oh, you're athletic.
But
for sure, something athletic.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a quarterback. I'm not gonna say which team or anything, but I would be the new quarterback and the new antagonist of the season.
Nice. How did you get that audition?
So I was in Europe. Though it's crazy the way I got this movie that I'm shooting right now and All American. I was like jet lagged like crazy. Because I came back from Europe and I was just like, did not want to do any auditions or anything. And they was like, oh, you can self-tape. They said, oh, it's a self-tape anyway. And I was like, I really don't want to do self-tape right now. I just want to, chill. And then I worked on it with my friend, and self-tape. And I was like, okay, I think it's cool. Like, let's see what they think. And then, I got the movie and All American at the same time. But then, dang, wow. I didn't know if I can do both because they were like shooting literally the same time, shooting both at the same time. But they worked around my schedule and I was like, yo, that is dope. Like, it's so cool to like go from nobody wanting you to like 2 different productions wanting you, and they want you so bad that they're willing to work around your schedule.
Right.
That's just like, that's crazy.
They want you that bad.
Yeah, that's like, I was like, thank God, that was so good.
So you booked it, both of them via self-tape?
Same time. Yeah, both of them self-tape. And I never booked up self-tape before.
You have any tips for self-tape? Everyone out there?
Oh, you know what? I would tell you, self-tape, I'd rather go in a room because you can feel the energies more. Right. But self-tapes allow you to take it to the next level and you're more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're with your friends. And if you want to use a prop, use it. Like, you have the ability to really make the room yours. So you have more room to have as many takes as you want,
right.
And to really be you, and you're not dealing with the nervousness of the casting director watching you, the reader being a terrible reader. You know what I'm saying? So self-tape give you that. You can be more comfortable and creative, I feel.
Right.
Like, because your nerves isn't as, like shaky.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Because it's one side of it we don't see because every actor just sends in their self-tape. I send it and delete mine. But you might see somebody's casting tape years later, but you never really see self-tapes. So it's always like curious to know like what self-tapes look like or what people book with stuff. You know what I mean? Like you just never know.
What? I might end up posting my self-tape that I did for All American.
I guarantee you it will go viral. no one has ever seen it before.
Yeah, that's true.
No one has ever seen
I might do that.
This is self-tape used to book. Because for actors, I think people, it's so much vulnerability. You know? And I'm going to post I mean, I didn't book anything from the self-tapes. I'm still gonna post my self-tapes to just show my different range, because I think we're meant to put our talents out there.
Yeah.
I don't think we're meant to like do ourselves as hide it, never show the world. It's not showing off, or it's not trying to brag, but it's showing the world your talents and let people can learn from you, or you could get feedback from people. You know what I mean?
That's
true. As
true.
actors, it's so scary because it's actually so scary to think of if you ever posted your self-tape and you didn't even get a job, what people would say. You know, it's such a scary, vulnerable thing, but that's the most courageous thing, and it gives back to so many people. You know what I mean?
That's true. I don't think I'm brave enough
like this.
to do that.
But right now you're giving back so much information. You have no idea how many actors right now listening are gonna be like, "Yo, this guy didn't spend 15 years in a school to do this, but he naturally is gifted to have it." Like, some people could be naturally gifted.
That's true. That's true. I definitely think, like, the conventional school. You know what? Let me be careful what I say here. I think certain programs, certain institutions make money off of the idea of hope. Hope creates billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And I think institutions have this way, this mafia mentality where let's create a problem and give you the solution.
Right.
Like, there's an old story, right, of like this man, this guy who owns a gas station and the Italian mobs, right? The Italian mobs send these kids, these hoodlums, to vandalize the store over and over and over and over. And the guy working in the gas station, he can't call the cops. He never know when they're coming, and the cops just have to patrol the area. So the cops can't just stay in that designated area. So the mafia, one of the head mafias, the mobsters, you know, came and was like, "Oh man, look, I can help you with that." And he was like, "You can?" He's like, "Look, if you don't want no one to touch, I'll just send one of my guys. You don't gotta worry about it, take care of it." Little does the gas station man know that the mafia guy is the one starting the problem, and he's ending it, and now he's making money out of thin air. Right. And I feel like a lot of the times it's like acting schools or different schools, any art school, any school in general, could create this illusion in your head that's a problem and then trick you into giving you a solution. Right. But they really don't know the fucking answer themselves. Right. But they want you to depend on them and feel like they have the solution by breaking you down, giving you a problem that you don't have. And that's the same way they make billions off of insecurities. Like, people are getting all these different stuff done to their bodies because the media is making you think you have a problem. You're like, "Oh, I don't like myself today. I don't like how I look. So therefore, let me get this surgery." So you go back to the same people who's making you insecure to fix your problem. Right. It's like the ultimate gangster shit. And I just feel like classes, they do the same thing. They say, "Oh, you're not booking because you got to do this and that. Here's this technique. Here's that." And they're just making so much money because they know it's like dangling the carrot in front of the donkey's face. You know what I'm saying? And it just, you're like, yeah. So I'm gonna be Brad Pitt one day. Yeah, if I do this, that. Yeah, exactly. I even work with Brad Pitt one day. So it was just like, I know exactly his techniques, but it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm not saying all the institutions, but I'm saying you got to be very cautious because I've dealt with sharks. You know what I'm saying? That just wants to take my money. You know, during pilot season. Okay, you need a coach. You need a coach. You need a coach.
Like a comprehensive, or like they call it like a 5-week this because it's pilot season.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I remember this, I know a few ladies in particular, you know, that was just like drilling this idea, you need a coach. And this pilot season, I booked the pilot. I booked the series. It was great money, you know what I'm saying? For that one episode, it was so great. And although the network didn't pick it up, but I trained with my fella acting friends. And if you have a friend who's a professional in a business, that's as good as a fucking class. Yeah. Literally, because oftentimes the people teaching the class aren't even on TV them damn selves. Yeah. But take it from someone who's actually doing it. Yeah. Like, being on set and taking a class is day and night differences. It's like, you know, like you could train martial arts and shit, but if you get in a real fight, someone hits you, you want to run. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like really train with people who's really in the battlefield. Like, when my friends call me and they need help with self-tape, I give them real ass advice. Right. And I tell them how things are gonna look on camera for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you have a friend in the business, you don't need to hire a coach that's charging you $130 an hour. I mean, acting is already expensive as hell. You paying to go to auditions with the gas, with parking, and you rearrange your entire life for this 10 minutes.
I love that.
And you don't even get this damn job. And nobody say thank you for your time. They don't care about you. They just dispose of you and you go. You don't even get the job. You just waste all that. And then you can pay $130 for another. Yo, life is too hard for that, honestly. And if you're doing that, don't try to create friendships with people who really know the business and they'll help you. Like a lot of my friends, I will just help them because I know it's tough.
Right.
Like who got money to pay $300 for a fucking audition that you may or may not even get? And if you don't have a name, most likely you're not gonna get the shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're paying $300 for that? Come on, you can only do that so much, you know?
And it's even for, some people say, oh, you have to pay $60 to do a self-tape here. And some stories I hear of actors who just use their iPhone, set it up on a wall, and they just deliver their performance and they book it. And then there are places that charge $60 to $100 to do a self-tape. And it's crazy, and a lot of people bend their back for it. And I would say, look, if you have the means and wherewithal and the never-ending resources to pay for it, that still be fine, and if it's easier for you. But long story short, I mean, from the people who I've spoken to and I've interviewed people who booked jobs and I've asked people who booked jobs, they didn't necessarily use a $2,000 camera or pay.
Yeah, I use my iPhone camera and I'm shooting this movie and this new show.
With this what?
This.
Wow.
Literally this, so it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's another thing. And then another danger I always see, and this might be another thing for me, is a lot of times in acting classes, people use comparisons amongst each other. It's like a jockeying match, and I think it's not always the best environment. So I feel like if you find a group or a core of acting people or a class or a teacher that work for you and don't bring your self-esteem down, because a lot of times you go to class and they're like, oh yeah, I booked this, or my agent's doing this, and you're
you're gonna feel super insecure. That happened to me.
Apart from money being a factor in Los Angeles, you could work overtime to get money, but that self-esteem and your mind is something that, like, if it breaks down in Los Angeles and you're away from home, that you might need to come back.
Yeah, it's extremely tough. I remember, like 4 years ago, when I was in New York, I remember I was coming back from this audition. I auditioned for this play, and I'm in the car with my friend G Muggs. Shout out to G.
Wait, I know G.
Oh my God, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, G's a good actor, man.
Yeah, I like him, and we was in the same class, and I'm in the car with him. I'm in the train with him and this girl who we just met there. I think he knew the girl, and they were just talking about their careers and how they're SAG, and one is working on this short film, and one's about to do this, and I'm just in that train ride feeling so just insecure and down about myself, and not even they weren't even trying to make me feel like that, but it's just like, I was like, damn. And then they was like, oh, so what do you, I'm like, well, I'm just training, more training, and just that. And it's just like, I remember that feeling, and I was just like, damn, like this sucks, but I had to hold on to my faith and was like, yo, I know one day, like I just gotta keep doing this. And the next thing you know, I just,
same here. And I think apart from, just as long as training and you working out in the gym, you doing auditions and you getting reps that way, the mind I think it's equally as important. And further along I go, the more I see how important it is, because you could take yourself out of situations because of your mind is going to keep you here. Your mind is going to keep you from when you get rejected. Your mind is going to protect you from so many things and push you further, that you have to do as much as you could to get your mind secure.
And you got to train it for you.
I don't. So me personally, I don't speak to people in acting. Whenever sometimes I feel to go to like different acting studios, and I go to two people here in Los Angeles. I go to a lady named Amy Linden, because she's just like, we just do auditioning, like basically just auditioning and stuff. And she's not like hella expensive, so it's not anything crazy. But we just book a lot, and she has a lot of people who book on her shows, in her classes, like 50 people that book. So it's cool, and you get reps that way. If I don't have a lot of self-tapes coming in, and it's not that expensive, I'll go to her. But anywhere I go, I try not to talk to people in class. Try not for them to ask me what am I doing. I don't want to talk about that. Like the friends that I have who are in this business and who are working, we don't ever talk about what we doing or what they doing. You know what I mean? It's more of like, oh, I'm your friend. We just having a conversation. But in a lot of those classes, and a lot of people relate and has messaged me back, and it's like, glad you said that. It's like that talk about comparison. As much as you do to put your blinders on, it could still like open it out when you hear somebody say, "Oh, my agent." Oh, who's your agent? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in fact, one person I know was saying, "Oh yeah, I was going off for this role and it's this and that." It was like a co-star role with like one line. You know what I mean? But they built it to be this big thing, and I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. You know, so
and then you feel insecure, kind of. And I feel like comparison is of the devil. So I just try not to. My hardest to just not compare, because it's just like what someone else got going on, they might not even be enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm comparing myself feeling down, and they don't even appreciate what the hell they have. You know what I'm saying? So I try to ignore it, but it's so hard to, because in LA, not even just LA, in this business, it's all about, so what you doing? Exactly. And I hate that shit.
I hate it too.
So, you know, like when you go on a carpet and they ask you, what are you working on right now? And you're not working on nothing. You're just like, well, damn, can I just enjoy the fruits of my labor? Like, why do I have to, you know? So you have this idea to just, you always have to be working. And if you're not working, then there's something wrong with you. But it's okay to relax and just talk to God. Yeah. You know, so.
Yeah, that battle comes up all the time.
Yeah.
So for you, what's when you see yourself, where would you like to be 5 years from now?
5 years from now, wow.
28?
Yeah.
That's like you're almost the prime, you getting into that prime.
Yeah, I think I'll for sure be on a series, like 100%.
Yeah.
I already just came way too close to, and I booked the series already, you know, so I'll for sure be in a series. I want to have some campaigns and like leads in multiple movies. You know, I want to, for sure.
No, I could definitely see that, just the way that everything's like unfolding for you. Yeah. And just like your you built that spirituality and that belief into something that you can't see, to the point where you could see it.
Yeah.
And that is so, I think that's like the first thing that you need to do, be able to see yourself somewhere, and you just you automatically see yourself there. You're not afraid to say it.
And you know what? Honestly, career-wise, I know I'm gonna be good. That's not even where I'm worried. I just pray in 5 years, I have a good community of people around me with good spirits. Because if you don't have people with good spirits around you, you're not gonna enjoy anything you have.
Right.
So it's like material things, like you have people who are multi-millionaires who want to kill themselves all the time. You know, I know so many people who have so much money and they're seeing therapists and they're just not there mentally, because it's like when you reach that level of life, everybody is looking at you like, what can I get from you? What can I get from you? And you feel that, you know what I'm saying? So it creates this void in you, and you can't find no one around you to help that, because none of them are spiritually rich.
Right.
Everyone is just materially rich. You know what I'm saying? So I think my biggest thing, I pray to God that I still have a great support system of people spiritually around me, because otherwise you won't appreciate anything around you. And I've seen it happen over and over and over and over. You know, vanity is nothing. Money, success, I realize it's nothing. And so many people who already have all the millions and stuff like that, they all talk about it, you know, and they're all still searching for something. And I think that's what kind of makes life fair, is spirituality. And so no matter what playing field you're on in life, if you're spiritual, it can still make you happy in your spirit. Right. And that's real happiness. I think that's real success. It's like when this and this is good, then no matter where you're at, you could be poor, but you're appreciating everything, right. You know. And there's communities, and there's studies that show, like, you know, people in the poorest communities oftentimes are the happiest. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you look at that like, wow, but it makes sense because they don't have that much material things around, so they appreciate the little things like family and friends and stuff like that. So this chasing money in the bag and this society, this capitalistic society, I think we still need to remember to be spiritual, and that it's powerful, man, because all that money is nothing.
I only became more spiritual since I moved to Los Angeles, you know, and I've seen I've seen just like my demeanor, how calm I am, and that helps me even just be humble enough to learn. You know, you go into auditions, and I'm way more calm than I ever was from before, because I know whichever job is for me, not saying that I'm not gonna do my best, but whichever job is for me will come to me in the right time. And I'm not gonna be disappointed. It was one time I auditioned for this job, got a call back, and when I saw the guy who got the role, he was a white blonde guy, and looked nothing like me. So, a lot of times when we don't get that job or we fail, we feel so disappointed, not knowing that, that wasn't for me. That character wasn't for me. It maybe was just for them to see me in a new light, or to bring me in.
Yeah, and they probably was like, okay, should we make this guy black or white?
Right.
So this is our best black guy, and this is our best white guy. And then that's when the execs make the executive decision. And that's what I realized. Like, when you're pinned for a movie, it's like you and 3-4 other guys.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, it's not your talent that it comes down to. It's your look. Yeah. It's something that's like has nothing to do with you, And all you can do is, what I've realized is, be yourself, because there is no one else in the world like Darius.
It's authentic thing.
No one else. So it's like, and what I learned from like Sarah Mornell is the best acting class I've ever taken in my life.
Shout out to
Not gonna lie, Sarah Mornell, she's a beast.
Where is she?
And shout out to Mark John Jeffries, because that's my mentor right there. Mark John Jeffries.
Mark got me started too. So.
No, he got me started. He got
Mark
me,
He's the OG.
He's the OG. That's my guy right there. But Sarah, she was the only new teacher I met that I was just like, this lady is so real.
Where is she? In LA?
She's in Atlanta, and she came out here to teach a workshop for 2 days intensive. And I took the class. First, I was skeptical about it, but I was just, when I took the class, greatest class. I don't want to spoil it or ruin anything, but that lady,
I'm look it up.
I'm not gonna lie. She is somebody who I could recommend and tell you won't regret it. And I'm like, I keep it 1,000. I know bullshit people. She just preaches the fact that she's real as hell about the business, and it's just like, just be you. Literally, whatever character you're reading for, just try to find a way to just incorporate Darius in there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's and sometimes when you're reading the lines, certain things, they don't even fit your fucking tongue. Because if you don't naturally say that, then it's kind of like, it's gonna sound weird. It's not exactly. So maybe you tweak it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Just to, but no, her class. I like that. But I you got to take her class, and off camera, I'll talk to you more about it. But her class,
Sarah Mornell,
it was a $600 intensive for 2 days, and it was worth it. It was worth it. And I'm mad skeptical.
Yeah.
It was worth it. I took so much notes. I can teach a fucking class, but I wouldn't do that to her. You know what I'm saying? But it was great. Big shout out to her.
Davinchi set up in Hollywood acting school for stars.
Right.
Come be famous.
Right.
Yeah, you'll be a millionaire. Acting school for stars, come be famous in Hollywood. Everybody's coming. But quick, with Mark, I remember you definitely know one of these drills that Mark did. Mark, listen to this. One time, Mark took us down the class. He's like, class at
outside
34th Street.
Oh,
we are 34th and 8th, Penn Station, right? In front of Madison Square Garden. Mark sets up a class, and we are doing scenes of a couple fighting on, literally everyone. I'm talking about 100 people gather around, and you're in your acting class. You're green, and Mark got everyone on the street. I'm talking about the street. People, Penn Station, and we're acting out scenes I caught you cheating, da 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 da, and we're shouting and fighting, and the whole world, for me, that made the whole world disappear. Yeah. Because with that, I feel just from him doing that one exercise, and we did it 2 or 3 times, but just doing it that one day, I feel if I go on stage on Broadway, the whole world would disappear.
Yeah.
I would be in that scene because I never had hundreds of people watching me thinking that this was an actual fight.
Exactly.
Thinking I was crazy. I'm on the floor, and we're doing a scene in the street. And Mark's there, he's like, go. He's like, action.
No, honestly, that's great.
That real New York shit was, for me, it made me, it was a different type of improv. It made me like a dramatical improv actor, dramatic improv actor. It wasn't a comedy, it was a dramatic scene, but I cleared the whole world out, and I was like, yo, we are acting. It's like if we went to Hollywood Boulevard and we just did a class right there. Mm-hmm. And 10 times bigger than that, because Hollywood Boulevard ain't Penn Station.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just did a scene there. You have any scenes from Mark? You remember?
No. I remember we did that too. And I think it was so great because my thing is just like, I was always worried what people think when they're looking at me and stuff like that. But that just like Mark's class, what I loved about it, Mark really just taught me just not give a fuck what people think, you know what I'm saying? Just act, you know what I'm saying? And he made me comfortable with being on stage, you know what I'm saying? Speaking and stuff like that. So like, that exercise, it was really great because just you're acting and then people just looking at you, walking past like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? They're just looking at you and then it comes to a point that you just stop caring and you go and then you lock in, you zero in. So shout out to Mark. He's my OG. He taught me a lot of great things on and off class, and now we have a great personal relationship.
Yeah, I wanna definitely when I go back to New York get him on because I think any actor, if you're in New York, stop in and check Mark.
Like everyone I know who wants to become an actor, I'm like, yo, take Mark's class. I think Mark's class is like the greatest stepping stone because he's a veteran. Like he's so young, but people don't he started at 3 years old. Yeah. He's done everything. He's been on a series, he's been in movies, he's been in commercials, he's done voiceovers for Monsters Inc. and more. He modeled, he did everything. Yeah. So it's like he's literally like a veteran in his 20s, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you ask this dude for advice, like he'll give you like legitimate advice. That's Mark is the plug. Yeah. Mark is about to get hella DMs right now.
And just to wrap, because this is 1,000 failures, and I think as we spoke about the journey of taking the staircase and just the importance of it, what in your life have you learned the most from all the failures and the hardships, and to bring you to who you are today and where you want to be?
I think what I've learned is that in the end, everything is going to be okay. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end. Because what I realized is that whenever I'm going through anything and it seems like the world is over, and the next thing, like there's another day, tomorrow brings something different, and you completely forget about that. Yeah. But sometimes we get so wrapped in a moment and we're just like, life is over. But we forget that tomorrow is a new day. Right. And you don't know what the hell tomorrow brings, It can bring more suffering, but it can bring something good. And I think because, you have different days to look forward to, that it's going to be okay at the end. I think it's going to be okay. No matter what you're going through. There's people who survived the Holocaust and they speak about it in such an optimistic way, And it's just like for someone to speak about something like that and they seen their family go in gas chambers and things like that, it's kind of like, I'm gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's always gonna be all right. If you're spiritual, it's always gonna be all right. That's what I would say.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Yo, East Coast.
Man, this is dope. I know, East Coast, right?
All right.
What a great episode. Thank you, Davinchi, for your wealth of wisdom, knowledge, and just I'm in awe that this guy is 23 years old. You have a big, bright future ahead of you. Everyone, go check him out on Grownish. And I can't wait to see you on All American. This is going to be exciting because I'm ready to binge this out. And anyone listening out there who wants mentoring or if you have a school event or a film event and you want any of my speakers who was on the show before or myself to come to your event, just log on to 1000failures.com and you could book or have a speaker at your event or a private mentoring course. So it's all on there on the website 1000failures.com. I'm signing out right now. I am so happy to have all you guys listening and can't wait for episode 12. Stay tuned. We're out.